Okay.
You know, there is no technology-related conference without technical issues. So here's one. But
we can ask ChatGPT.
No need for that even, I think. Okay, here we go. And the next slide, I think, should be your first slide. Is the clicker working? Yes,
yes, looks like.
Okay,
looks like.
The floor is yours, Anton. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thank you. So I want to talk with you about this how-tos today. I have relatively little amount of time, but we'll try to squeeze as much as possible and share my experience pretty much. So you can read faster than I talk, of course. I have a bunch of certifications from different organizations. What I wanted to mention here about myself, that I'm pragmatic and I don't belong to one specific Agile church, saying like SAFe or Kanban or Scrum or Less or Nexus or whatever else. So I tried all of them. They are all good to some extent. So I don't distinguish like what specifically you should take SAFe or you should take something else. So I certified by many organizations and practice all of them. And pretty much what I'm trying to do in my work and my Agile consultant work is to bring this practical experience and to create some kind of hybrid in between of frameworks, and make them work for organizations. And as you see, I worked with different organizations, and there was a question about whether it's applicable in IT, non-IT, where it's applicable. So you can see number of domains, at least from my experience where we worked with. So obviously you see IT, obviously you see banks, you see a bunch of other things, financial services, utilities. So one of interesting projects was the gold mining. And this is also something where we can apply some principles and go to Africa and apply something there. Why not? But pretty much what like contributing what Alistair said, he said like we want to deliver value, but what value is? So that's the first question would be. I want to start from this because we all operate with this buzzword like value, value, value. But very often it is like if I ask you to explain, maybe you have to start thinking about this because it's not that obvious. Like, okay, we used to say value, but we don't used to think about how to slice it, what value is. And I want to propose you the model. This is, I don't want to say this is my development, but pretty much kind of, I can say so because maybe in parallel world or somewhere there is something existing and the same, but I come up with this myself. So I want to suggest you to talk about value from two perspectives. The first one is like the bar of price or loyalty, because when we talk about value, we can convert it into something tangible for organization, right? Like number of leads, conversion rate, return customers, turnover, and all that kind of things. That will result into our prices or loyalty. And basically, when we say we want to increase value, what we can do, we can increase price or loyalty for our customers, and we can increase something like to call it willingness to pay. So they want to pay us more. They want to come to us, right? They choose us because now competition is very close, and the competitor is like in usually on the phone it's like two applications, yeah, like just one movement of your finger. And it's not even crossing the street to your competitor, so it's really close by. And basically increasing the loyalty is like increasing their willingness to be with you. And this is one bar of the value. And we are trying with Agile approaches, try to push it up. Yeah, so we can charge more, they can be more loyal, we can get more and so on, and they will be more happy. Another bar, the lower one, is the cost. Because when we create this value for the customers, it costs us something, right? So we have total cost of ownership, as we say. And we have always opportunity to reduce this cost. If we do things faster, that will reduce the cost. If less people involved, it will reduce the cost. So basically, we can come from the cost to the opportunity cost. Yeah, so we can try to reduce it. And in between this kind of upper bar, which is like willingness to pay, and lower bar, opportunity cost. This is how we increase our value. And this is something we can convert to real business metrics. Yeah, like you said, like total cost of ownership. It can be money, it can be numbers. It's easier to understand. And relatively recent add was like volume scale, because now, for example, we operate in this region or this country or this street. We can open up another country and basically scale in another dimension this value as well. Yeah, opening something in a new country. So talking about value, that's one thing. Another thing is like Alistair said about like that everything you need to know about Agile is this 4 things from Heart of Agile. So like compass. And I would to suggest another compass with 4 measures, which I think a little bit more tangible. So first would be the efficiency and productivity. So when we think about our organizations, we do things with some efficiency and productivity. For some organizations, it is crucial to boost it up. Yeah, do we have some people who today wants to improve it, like efficiency and productivity in your organization? Can you raise a hand? Do we have such people? Okay, we have some, yeah. So, and this is one of the benefits we can get from Agile. And this is one of the triggers. Yeah, so if we want to be more efficient, if we want to be more productive, that's something we can declare, we can bring with Agile. Another thing is time to market, or lead time, or basically the thing, how quickly we can produce the things, or how quickly we can deliver. Time to market. Do we have people here for who or for your organizations this is relevant today? Time to market. Do we have such people? Please raise a hand. Okay, yeah, we have. So this is another thing that can be good. And the interesting thing, what is good? Like if I say time to market 1 year, is it good or not? Like show me if this is good, show me this is not good. 1 year. It depends. Yeah, you say like, why not good? If your competitor has time to market 2 years, then 1 year becomes good, right? But if your competitor has half a year, then you have a problem. And basically, time to market is something we can impact with Agile. Attrition and happiness. I think Alistair was also saying about this. We can make people happier, and that results into their staying longer in our company, being more motivated. What he said, attitude. Yes, he said about attitude. This is also something we can impact. And quality, functional and non-functional. So what we can impact is, and this is also benefit, and this is also the trigger. Yeah, if we want to improve our quality, if it's not good enough. So again, Agile can help. Now, functional is something that people can see. Yeah, so your end clients. Non-functional is something that you only know. It's your legacy systems, it's your technical debt, it's your some inefficiencies into processes and so on. It can be IT or non-IT, something people don't see, but you know it's not that good. And 2 additional, transparency and alignment. This is also something we can declare and can be one of the triggers when you want to talk about Agile, when you think like whether I need it or not. So transparency, I would describe it like when you sit in on this certain level of government, yeah, maybe on the top level, like portfolio level, maybe on like a little bit lower, like middle management, to which extent you see what's going on downstream. Like how people you have to ask to understand what's going on, what people are doing, what is the progress, to which extent you have this transparency. And alignment is pretty much the same, but bottom up. To which extent people understand the North Star, the big goal, why we are doing specifically this task, why we are calling specifically this client, so how it's connected to our big goal. And this all contributes to this Agile. Yeah, so when we talk about Agile, if you need to explain or something like this, like what it can bring to you, so this is exactly the answer. So at least this 4 + 2, this is something you can declare. And many frameworks, they also rely on this, and they provide some percentages, saying like, okay, from our experience, and now like SAFe does this, and from our experience, we can improve time to market 50%, for example. Yeah, so this is we can bring. This is benefits, but these are also the triggers. Yeah, so if you feel one of the domains here are something you want to improve, then Agile potentially can help. And I want to highlight this with a couple of cases which I personally was involved in. So for example, this organization, it's non-IT, it's a HR recruitment startup, I would say. So what they were doing, they were hiring people in Ukraine, in Belarus, in Turkey, and some other countries, and selling them to some Germany, Austria, Switzerland, to other countries, basically. Even before it became a trend. I think now it's more trendy. So they were doing it, you see, like 2016. What the problem was? The problem was that the structure was not clear. So basically, this is a recruitment company. Structure not clear, and the trigger why they decided to talk with us is like, how do we create the structure which is scalable? Like, for example, we want to do double, we want to triple. Like, how do we scale the structure? Do we have everything for this? The second question was, it's not here, I think, but there was a KPI from the management. We want 10 contracts signed every month. Yeah, so we understand this is money we want to face, so we want 10 contracts. And it was absolutely not clear how to connect it to sales and how it connected to people who are executing, like researchers who are doing something on LinkedIn, people who are doing some technical interviews, HR interviews. So if I ask you, like, if you need to have 10 contracts signed every month, how many technical interviews should be done per month? That's a good question, right? And how many candidates, potential candidates, researchers should contact on LinkedIn? Because if we have this number, that can be clear. Okay, I understand I have to do like 200 per month, then it's like simple, like sales funnel, yeah? So what we did the Kanbanize the process, basically. So we applied a couple of Kanban principles here. And in 6 months, that was the predictable process, and 10 was absolutely clear how to do on all the stages. Moreover, it was connected with sales. So for salespeople, it was also understandable how to sell, what to sell, and what to promise to customers, because that became the predictable process. So this is something we can say like efficiency and productivity, right? From the perspective of these benefits we talked about. 6 months, the organization size was relatively small. It was like up to 20 people. But result was, at least for management, it was basically what they needed. Yeah, and they understood like, okay, now we have 10, we understand how to make 20, we understand how to have 30, because the structure is scalable, the result is predictable. Cool. Another organization talking about another aspect of benefits and triggers is time to market. This is a little bit more IT example. So the company which is on the gambling and betting and gaming industry. The problem was that they had the huge legacy system connected to payment methods, and they work worldwide. So they have like really bunch of payment methods inside. The integration of one payment method takes 3 months. This is a lot. So this is like cost of delay, so-called, right? So they don't get money like for 3 months before they release it. So there was a decision made that let's create a team, let's create new EPS, like electronic payment system, like based on microservices and everything cool. But meanwhile, we still have to deliver. So what we created Scrum team, everything worked well, but not predictable, and 3 months was not good. So again, was a little bit Kanbanized, and with the same team, pretty much what we achieved, parallel development of new EPS, and also we reduced time to market 2 times. So it became like from 3 months to 1.5, sometimes even 1 month. So that was really cool. Like nothing changed, just process. The same people, the same payment methods, everything the same company. So we just tweaked the processes. That's it. And yes, it took 12 months. That's total engagement, including the creation of this team. So basically, the tweak took maybe 4 or 5 months before the result. And one more cool thing, after the team was created, the first delivery was done in 1 month. This is also, like, you all know about this learning curve, team buildings, and all this stuff. So usually, new team do not deliver that quickly. So here we were able to, again, because we managed work, not people. Yeah, so we applied this principle from Kanban and did quite fancy processes. Another example about attrition and happiness. Another case, quite relatively quick engagement for months. Here, the request was specifically about people. So the question was, okay, we have in Germany our team, it's cool, we have specific culture, it's super cool. Now we want to extend and hire more people in other countries, but we want to be sure that they are the same culture in other country. People from other countries, the same culture. The focus was on soft skills, not hard skills, because hard skills you can get faster. Another interesting factor was there were no testers, no QA people. So everything is supposed to be based on engineering practices. It was quite interesting engagement because that was done, and I want just to you already probably read one interesting result here is the attrition rate was really close to 0. So we worked with this organization, like helping building the hiring process and also helping interviewing candidates and building the process themselves. But in 2-year period, just 2 people left. 2 years, 2 people left, and 1 came back. So he returns. So in 2 periods, just one person left. So it was really strong culture, like Alistair was talking about this as well. And this is the success. Yeah. So this is again attrition and happiness. This is something that we can declare and we can rely on, that we can use an Agile in a broad context. We can apply and it will help. And last but not least, quality, functional, non-functional. Super quick engagement, 1 month. Basically, the request was we have critical delivery, we have critical release. We need to make it happen. Please help us. And that was again done with some assessment, with some tweaking. They were already agile, but it was not working properly. So there were some minor tweaks. You see, it took just 1 month. And everything was done successfully. So the problem was with functional, I would say, quality. There were a lot of bugs, a lot of problems with users. And by tweaking the processes, especially like the QA part of the process, with this organization, they had QAs. So everything went really well. And talking about Agile organization in general, in a broader context, we can say that we have these 3 levels of governance. Yeah, so we have the team level where the execution happens, and that's usually where we say like, okay, Scrum, Kanban, or some other processes. And very often, especially small companies, like small Agile consulting companies, they start from this level. Okay, you want Agile, let's do the training and let's set up some Scrum in a team. Will it help? Yes. A lot, not sure, depending on the size of the company. Because if the overall time to market is 6 months, and the team part is just 1 month. Okay, you tweak it twice. It's not 6 months, it's 5 months and a half. Is it a big change for team? Yes, they improved 2 times. For the whole organization, not yet, right? Some organizations start from the top, like from the portfolio level, because let's say the whole setting set usually is done on that level, right? So we have North Star on that level. Maybe people not motivated don't understand what they need to do. And usually like big 4 organizations like McKinsey, Ernst & Young, and so on, they start from the portfolio level. Again, also can be, also works, but from our experience, the best way is to start from the middle level, so-called program level. That's usually where the gap in organizations are. So if you think where to start today, my recommendation would be to start not from the team level, not from the teams, not from the top management, but from the middle, because from the middle you have access to everyone. Usually to start on the mid-level, you have to have buy-in from the management. That means it's easier from the program level to go up. And that usually means also from the middle level, it's easier to go down to the teams. Because if you start from the top, very often you can have pushback from the teams. They say like, okay, some consultants like pushing some bright ideas we don't accept. Yeah, so this is the sweet spot for me. So we strive to always start from the program level because it's easier to go up and down depending on what kind of situation we face. So that would be my recommendation, like how to. And answering the question, somebody asked about problems, like top 3 problems with Agile adoption, top 3 like failure modes. Here they are. This is the This is analytics from 2015, but it's nothing changed. It's like we are in 2023, it's still the same. So the reasons are the same. That's why your transformation might fail. That's why your agile implementation might fail because of this. So, and you see the top three are ability to change our organizational culture. Yeah, so culture really is the very difficult thing to change. There was a question about resistance to change. I'm sorry about this example, but my example will be very specific. I would say resistance to change, it's like the same question like how to deal with resistance to getting women to sex. Because it's the same. If you do it properly, if you do it slowly, evolutionary, and do right things, you don't have problems with this. It depends, of course, it all depends. But pretty much if you are fast, and that's what often happens with transformations. We are trying to tackle this too quickly, sometimes doing a lot of failures, and I will show what kind of failures might be. And basically, we just struggle with the first one, ability to change organizational culture. It is not, it's evolutionary approach. It's not revolutionary. Not enough personal with necessary agile experience. That's usually why people sell trainings. Yeah, let's train everyone, and so on and so far. So I suggest if you can find this is the open source, or you can make a photo. So, but that's pretty much you should keep in mind when you trying to implement some agile approaches, whatever level you start with, like team, portfolio, or program. That's something you will face. And if you know it in advance, it is much more chance for you to succeed. And specifically, if we are talking about transformation, transition, change management, there is such a guy, John Kotter. Who knows him? I mean, not personally, but maybe read a book or heard like Kotter. Please raise a hand. Okay, not that many. So he's the father of change management. And he says basically, who heard SAFe, Scaled Agile Framework? Maybe a little bit more people. Okay, here's better. So in SAFe transformational roadmap, it is based on a Kotter model on these 8 steps. And what he says like it's necessarily to have all 8 steps to succeed with the change, to succeed with the transformation. And the first one is to create sense of urgency. If you remember SAFe transformation roadmap, who knows this, like it was called tipping point, yeah, or go SAFe, depending on the version you look at. So create sense of urgency, you should have motivation for change. If this is like resume driven change management, saying like we need to implement agile because we want to be agile, it doesn't work. There should be some motivation behind. Second step, build a guiding coalition. So there should be enough change agents and transformation team, doesn't matter, like internal, external, there should be some team who can drive it. Because if it's just one person or 2 people, it's usually not enough. Third step is form strategic vision and initiative. So we need to understand the roadmap of our transformation. What are we doing? What are we changing? Which level we're starting from, like team, program, portfolio, what we are aiming to, again, like time to market, what exactly we're trying to change. And list a volunteer army. So we want to get more people who support it. We want to be sure that we are changing the things that is relevant for all the people. Yeah, and here we either have their support or we need to explain them and sell them. Enable actions by removing barriers. Let's remove some, like that's like Scrum Master role. Yes, let's remove some impediments. So that's the same. Generate short-term wins. That was one of the answers from Alistair. Remember he said like little wins, or he said something like this. So short-term wins, we should have them. We should prove people that it works. We are moving in the right direction. We should see some results. It's important. Sustain acceleration. Yeah, so okay, we are moving in the right direction. Let's keep going and institutionalize change. So let's make it our DNA. So this is our ways of working. And you can fail on every step, and basically what happens, then even one step can bring you into failure mode of the agile transformation. And I replaced some of the text on this picture and wanted to show you one case. Maybe you've heard this organization, TUI. It's a travel operator. It was one of the countries I will not mention, but create sense of urgency, first step. The sense of urgency was done this way, like we need Agile. The boss said, that's it. Build guiding coalition. So the guiding coalition was around, was 3 people, maybe even 2.5, for organization more than 100 people. Probably not enough. Form strategic vision and initiatives. Again, our strategic vision, we need to be agile. That's it. Enlist volunteer army. Let's train everyone. So basically what was done, let's train all the people, let's explain them what Agile is, and that's it. So maybe it helps. You understand that if we provide training to everyone, the next day people do not become Agile and they do not start working differently. Enable actions by removing barriers. So what happened, the people said like, okay, stop your work, stop your business, let's go to daily. It's important. Scrum says we should go to daily stand up. It's important. Generate short-term wins, not applicable here. Sustain acceleration. The message from management was like, we will fire you. If you're not following Agile way of working, we will fire you. Go to the daily. Stop your work. Institutionalized change. What happened, like instead of like trying to make some playbook or like share how we work, let's call for audit and assess to which extent we are agilized. Like, are we agile or not? Let's audit. So this audit happened. It proved that the organization is not agile, and that's where we came to this organization actually. So there was one try of implementation with other provider, and we came with all this mess trying to fix it. We did it. So now it's successful case. But actually you see that there was a mistake on each and every step. And I want you to remember this, that you should take care of this model as well, and think about like why you're doing this. Like I remember a question also today, like if we do the agile transformation today, where do we start? From creating sense of urgency, motivation for change, and then all the steps, like who is your guiding coalition, who is your transformation, do you have enough people there? Maybe external people, maybe internal, maybe you train people, maybe you promote people. It's really important. If you fail on first 2 steps, like you can stop here. Strategic vision. What's your roadmap for transformation? How you track it? What's your transparency? Agile is about transparency. You have transparency on your transformation? Very often, no. And all the steps, yeah. So that's something I want you to keep in mind. And also, there was a slide in Alistair's deck about the change in, I like this actually, the change in structure is easier than change in mindset. It's easier to sell. This is true. But the thing is that I want this message also to have as your output of this presentation. Think about your organization as the computer. So basically you have hardware. This is your organizational structure. And you install some software. These are all these frameworks and approaches. And of course, you shouldn't have like the blue screen of death or something like this. They should be compatible. But many organizations fail to try and change in the hardware all the time. Yeah, changing the structure. It is painful actually and costly. So it's better to adapt your operating system that you will install on your existing org structure, on your existing hardware, and tweak it. This all is about creating the network which works, and Agile is not about ruining or restructuring your org structure. It might happen, but it's not the target, not the first thing. Oops, what else? What was that? Yeah, Madlova. I think time for questions and QR code for something else.
Yeah.